Dear gentlemen, dear ladies, or dear ladies, dear gentlemen, now we start the closing session of our conference, and still we have one more invited speaker. We all enjoyed 2 days ago services of the Estonian forests, and this mostly the Estonian forests, they are managed by the most of the great part of the Estonian forest, they are managed by the State Forest Management Center. And I am glad to give the floor the leader of the, we call it AMK, Aigar Kallas. And he has been a leader of the Estonian State Forest Management Center for many years already, and I think that with his presentation you will get a home message. Please, Aigar, floor is yours.
Thank you. No need to applaud yet. Hopefully there will be a reason towards the end of the presentation, but let's see how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege to speak in front of an honorable scientific audience as yours. I do have to say it doesn't happen all that often to me, and I certainly do not claim to be a scientist myself, but I'll try to give you an introduction of Estonian forest, a short one, and well, take questions if I manage to spark some interest amongst you. But before we enter the my talk of it, I'd like to give you a short background of myself and the organization I'm coming from. I just realized this first front slide is just stating the acronym of the Estonian State Forest Management Center in Estonian, and I didn't even bother to write it down in English, assuming that everybody would know. But okay, I admit, you don't. So be with me for a couple of minutes with a short video clip that would introduce to you the organization that I'm representing, and then I'll go on with my talk in a little while. Let's see if it works. did fall asleep? Not too many, not too many. I judge from the smile there. The reason to show you this was, like I said, introduce myself, introduce you a little to the Estonian forest, because one picture, as they say, tells a lot more than however many words. And also to make sure that when you're going traveling tomorrow and the day after, and wherever you go and wherever you see that green sign that says RMK on it, has a logo on it, know that it's safe to go there. And not only it's safe, you're very welcome. But let's see. Okay, but as I said, my task for today was to introduce you to the forest sector of the country, and I'll try to do it by using two indicators. First of all, I was by the organizers, I was told, well, try to be provoking in your title and in your talk. And I was trying to think, having been in the forest. By the way, I graduated from this house 20 years ago, exactly 20 years ago. I was trying to think, having worked in the field of forestry for 20 years, like what would provoke me to begin with. And then I thought, well, let's look back to what really has happened in the Estonian forestry over the course of time, and let's see if there was anything provoking to me. And well, start with this. If you pictured yourself to be an average Estonian, and you'd be asked for an opinion of the local forest sector, what are you the most, would be, well, they do harvest too much here in this country, and they do not replant enough. So what they do is that they make our forests disappear. Oh, this is like I'm not making this up. It's not that I think that people think this way. I know that they do because I've asked them, not personally, but we've asked them. And, well, believe it or not, 7 out of 10 people in Estonia say that, well, what I just said is true. However, even more of them, 9 out of 10 of them, even though they're concerned of the forest disappearing, say, well, I would like my house to be built of wood. I wouldn't mind that. You know what I mean? If you look back at the history as we know it, and as you well know it, well, first there was, of course, the Big Bang, right? And then the time went by, and then in this part of the world, there's at one point there's this big chunk of ice covering the whole land area here, and then about 10,000 something or other years ago, the ice started melting. About 5,000 years ago, the first humans appeared, and what they saw was, well, they saw trees, right? The whole country was more or less covered with trees, and what they did was that they started taking them down, and it took them 4,900 years out of those 5,000 they've been here, right? 4,900 years to take down 80% of the forest in this country, and it was a big success. And I don't dare to judge them on the account of that success. It was the way of life at that time, put it in this way, right? But this is what they managed to do, and having said that, with take it with a grain of salt, of course, but nonetheless, having said that, well, they still kept 20%. And with the country, with the land area supporting about 1 million people at the time, if you do the math, you realize that everybody living here had about, on average, about a hectare a piece of forest. And that, by the way, as I'm sure you all know, as being scientists, is 1.5 times more than average in Europe, average in the world. So even at that time, 100 years ago, the people figured, well, we need forest for shipbuilding, for constructioning in general, for firewood, for anything, for hunting, if you will. And they needed that, and they kept it this way. So you could say there was a balance. Also at that time, there was a balance between different land uses in this country and people's different needs. With all the technological advancements of the 20th century, the chainsaws, the harvesting machines, tanks, cannons, what have you, you'd think that we would now have been able to get rid of all the forest. like completely, like finally cleared it out after after all this hard work. But and jokingly, I'm sure our ancestors would have almost dreamt of it as a future scenario. But look, we've been fighting a losing battle, and if you look at the 100-year period that I've plotted on this graph on the screen, there are only 2 short periods of time that we've been actually successful in fighting against the forest. When we established the Independent Republic first, then when well, I guess we didn't decide, but somebody decided that we should build a communist state here. And then I also pointed out the third time, when we established the Second Republic here, and well, you think that the same thing would happen again, that we'd hit down on the forest and start using it. Well, like I said, we were fighting a losing battle because the forest was stronger, faster, what have you. And as of today, instead of having cleared all the land, we have more than half of the country covered with trees. And if you do the math now over how much per person, well, you see that, well, there's twice as much. And well, like it or not, we have to deal with it. And sadly, well, if we really were to distribute the nearly 2 hectares of forest that we have per capita over the people that live here, well, the unfortunate thing is that as of today, individually, we know a lot less about using the forest than we did 100 years ago. But let's see how they use today. Of course, as we all know, the advantage of forest over the field of wheat or potatoes, for the matter, in this country, that's more common. The advantage of forest is that it provides a lot more different goods and services than any other land use, right? So, for instance, the recreational use that also the video clip was referring to is most definitely the fastest growing field of forest utilization in this country. We're up to a level of 1.9 million, as the clip was saying, and it was 5 years ago, I think it was about 700,000 times that the people were visiting the forest. But I think it is worth mentioning, even though I'm short of time, that the forest management and wood processing sector is and has been throughout the past 20 years the fastest growing industry in this country, accounting for more than 5% of the GDP and approximately the same share of total employment. And of course, the exemplary economic indicators, however, have come at a social cost that I earlier mentioned. So indeed is that if we look back into the harvest rates over the past century, it shows that only at the turn of the century we harvested per hectare more than we do now, and that is a social cost. People are not happy with it, and that's why they worry. Well, it is, even though it's noteworthy and well known that the reason why the revolution side of the forestry in this country has been dependent on private forestry, it so is that the diversity of forestry and forest ownership in particular that we have achieved as of today, where half of the land for the forest land is in public ownership and half in private, with the half of private land being partly owned by industrial, partly by non-industrial owners, and as such diversified. I think what you will be seeing during the trip that you're taking on is, well, I can guarantee you, each and one of you will find a forest plot where you're saying, well, why did he do this? Why did the forest owner do this? Or you'll find a plot where you're saying, like, why didn't he do this or that or third? Harvest, plant, protect, what have you. At a bird's eye perspective, even though it may never be absolutely you can never achieve a state where in every single plot you'd be absolutely happy with the result but collectively the system here, diversified as it is, will always provide with the set of goods and services that the society desires. Estonia is a country forest, and I thank you for your attention. Thank you. You don't have to.
No, that would be take home. Thank you for giving the take home exercise. Thank you. And now it's time to make conclusions of our meeting. Please, Sandra. I tried to assist.
I put it here, I think. No, it's not this.
Yeah, yes, at this.
This one. Okay. There we are. Okay, thank you. Well, everything reached an end, and here we are, sad. But I'm sure you are full of good memories and good experience for this conference. So I would like to start usually what we say at the end. And I would like to start thanking enormously the amazing organization of this conference. And in particular, again, as I said in the opening, to Urmas and Ulamander for this incredible work and all the team that was supporting us during all this day. So big applause. Okay. Thank you again. I think it's always nice to start with this, and thanks to Ulla, did stand up, but here he is. The 2 months of the day, and the whole team actually was absolutely fantastic. Okay, so I just want also to remind what I said in the first day, and this is our IUFRO mission, not to forget that we are part of a huge community of more than 15,000 researchers and professionals and companies that are behind all that. So that is extremely important. We are not just our working party with 650 people, if not that we are part of this big platform that is IUFRO, that is always working towards research excellence and knowledge sharing and science-based solutions. And this is what it makes a difference as comparing with other associations. So the whole idea and the whole challenge behind is to work for the benefit of forests and people worldwide. So I think in that sense, and for this message, during this conference, what I see as a big message to take home is that we are all trying to see not just the forest, not just the tree we have in front of us, but as I said also the very first day, this holistic concept that we do have as a landscape ecologist and all the other researchers from other disciplines that are joining us in this working party. So when we work in forest landscape, we work in everything that is in this big matrix that is the landscape that includes much more than trees. And in particular, we consider the people that are in that landscape. So this is extremely important. And this is what allows us, with all the discussions and the conclusions in the different sessions, to find, with tools, with participatory approaches, with different management strategies, to provide options to adapt landscapes, to prevent impacts. And we know this is an urgent issue in the era of climate change and the increasing human impacts. So we do have this great mission to work with this holistic vision in order to find solutions and every day to improve in operational methods and technology that can help to find these solutions without forgetting the participatory approaches and the people that are involved in these landscapes. So I hope then that with all these accelerating discussions you all have in all these sessions during the meeting, you all get back home with at least one new idea. If you just have one new idea, if you have more, it's fantastic. But at least if you can go back with just one new idea and one new colleague that you meet during this meeting, then we succeed. So just one will do it. If we have more, it's fantastic. But this is what it's all about. I mean, all the efforts of the preparation, the fact that we are having this group, all the work we do in the association and so on, is in order to get these new ideas. As G1 said yesterday, during the whole history of our working party, everything was about getting together in these conferences, and always we were having new issues to move forward. And this is what is important. And with these new ideas, of course, we need to always remember which is our mission as a working party, which is bridging the gap between theory and application. And this is what we did here, and this is what I hope we'll continue doing. So it's not just get into good research that we do, but also get into application, and again, I insist, in trying to get solutions. But we still need to work harder. So our next goals will be to improve effective collaboration. I think we can do still better in order to bridge the gap between us, in order to be able to work more effectively together. Across landscapes also, sectors and disciplines. In most of the sessions, we have case studies coming from different regions, totally different, with different needs, with different people. So this is what is important. Let's try to work together with colleagues that are living other realities in forests that are managed totally different, and trying to get an effective collaboration in order to bridge towards these new ideas. So let's expand interdisciplinary. Let's broaden our dialogue. We know that there's a need for international cooperation in forest research, more than ever now. And this is what we're doing in this group that is truly international, from north to south and south to north, that we are learning from each other. So let's use this global network that is IUFRO to do the utmost to meet this need from our working party. I think as a working party, bottom up, we can bring ideas to IUFRO, the whole platform, and this is extremely important. As I said at the beginning, we are in Division A, Forest Environment, one of the working parties that's in doing best. So what we're having to say now in terms of our holistic approach is quite important, because, as you know, the new challenge in forest management are changing, are shifting, and our holistic vision is extremely important. So in order to continue doing it, I will put again this picture that G1 put yesterday, because for many of us, we are very fond of this picture. Giovanni left, but he's the man behind this picture. When we had our meeting in Loco Rotondo. So from here, we started to call us, the family under the tree. And this is what it's all about. We are not just an association and a conference, we're together. Most of us, we are close friends in many, many years already. And this is very nice when we get together and we see already these old friends and we catch up. So this is what it's all about. We're like a big family. So it's not just about science. It's not just about practitioners. It's about be friends, be a family, and trying to advance together. And I think this is extremely important. But in order to continue growing, and the exciting news is that we are growing every year, we need you, because many of you that came here, you are not members, official members of our group. So please join our working party. It's very easy and it's free. So it's a bonus. So we are now more than 650 members, but all the information we do have is passed through our list server, which is actually our heart. This is what it makes us so competitive as compared with other working parties that don't have this. So you just need to visit our webpage, and if you have any problem or if you have any news or communications you want to share with all of us, you just contact our communication officer. Rosina just left. But you do have in our website her address that is at the bottom of this page. And then I invite you also to be proactive, to send information about courses, about your conferences that you are organizing perhaps at the local or regional level. Also, it's extremely important because if you have a job announcement, you have an opening for a PhD, you have an opening for a postdoc or whatever, we can use this very powerful tool, not just our less servers. I mean, everything goes to the whole platform of IUFRO, in particular, depending on the new, goes to the whole of Division 8, that we have 20 working parties. So the impact of whatever you want to spread information on is enormous. So please use it, contact us, use also our webpage and all the social media. I will call especially the young to really participate actively in our Facebook. We have an official Facebook, and then we have other groups that they were joining from different regions. But please be proactive, share information, interact with members. We need to really improve the synergy with us and with other networks. So everything is about communication if we want to keep on going, if we want to keep on going growing. So using media and the publication for outreach is important, not just scientific publications, but let's say you have something important you want to say because you did something with your stakeholders on your study site or in your area or in your region that can be an example for others, or just you want to share experience. So don't forget that you have now all these different instruments from IUFRO that is read for many, for a lot powerful people that are working forestry worldwide. So I particularly would like to have some scientific summaries published from this conference for outreach. It's a couple of pages that have a high impact within the IUFRO page. So you have conclusion for your session that you want to transform into these scientific summaries. So it's a 2-page, there's a PDF that explains how to do it. Will be fantastic. Of course, you need to always liaise with me, so you send an email. So this is extremely important because this creates the outreach. So this is on top of the scientific publications that will come out from this conference, but this Louis Iverson will present this to you in some few minutes. But I want to really insist in this. So the other task we have is to start improving at the synergy we have with other networks. We are working together, especially with YALE, with ESP, ELI, but we want to keep on going, expanding with other networks. In particular, several of us, we are involved in IPBS, so it's extremely important that we create the necessary link from the different sectors or areas where we work in IPBS and our working party. Dolph was the first speaker we have here, so he is the chair of the ESP, the Ecosystem Service Partnership. So we are working with them, and there's a forest group. Actually, there's 3 different clusters of forest groups in ESP. And also, I remind you the Task Force on Forest Ecosystem Services, that is a IUFRO new instrument, actually, the second round of task forces. So I highlight these 3 because they are directly related to the topic of this conference on ecosystem services. So now this is about what we are doing, what we need to improve, but also we need to keep on going to see each other. So this is the future plans, how we are going to be able to see again and have fun again. So the first will be with ESP, as I said. We have this year in November. So several of us, we are organizing sessions in ESP. So I hope I will see some of you there in November in South Africa, near Cape Town. We have also next year, from the 29th of August to the 2nd of September, the Eco Summit. So with Ulo Mander, we are in the scientific committee of this conference. So we are just waiting for the approval of several sessions we are organizing within the Eco Summit, and you will be receiving invitation to submit abstracts for our sessions, that there are IUFRO-related sessions. So we are looking forward to see you, or at least some of you, next year in Montpellier at the Eco Summit, which is usually a conference where IUFRO is pretty much present. So another invitation will be for another conference also next year that we are supporting. So it will be one of our working party conferences. Is the World Congress on Silvopastoral Systems. This is important because it comes back to this that we don't see just forests, and this is a great example of how we are supporting the World Congress on Silvopastoral System. That will happen next year in Portugal at the end of September. So you will be also receiving, as soon as you are in the list server, you will be receiving all this information in order to present abstracts and join if you are working in these type of systems. Also, I have a proposal that still is under work, but there will be a regional meeting in Latin America, in South Chile. So we'll see then all the details. This will be in 2017. But what is important is the idea is to be able to team up with YALE. It was a first YALE meeting in Latin America, so we hope to organize together with the second YALE meeting and do a nice big conference to promote research in that region. So another important, very important meeting for us is next year in Beijing, China. We have the IUFRO All Divisions 8 meeting. This is very, very important. It's going to be in between the 25th and 26th of October in Beijing. The title will be Forest Environment Under Changing Climate and Societies. And then we hope to have sessions from our working party, especially from our Southeast Asia and Chinese partners that are there in the region. So I'm sure they are going to organize some sessions, but we hope also that we can also have other sessions from us, especially in different techniques and in our different approaches that we have at different scales. So also you will receive more information, but this is a very important meeting because it's across all the working parties in Division 8. Another conference we'll have will be in 2017, which is another important conference because will be the 125 years of IUFRO that will happen in Freiburg, Germany. This will be in September. This is 1 week in September. It will be a high-level conference. Here I put in the very old guys that founded this association, and this is a photo from our last board meeting in Vienna. We have one board meeting every year in Vienna in the headquarters of IUFRO. Okay, and then the last but not the least is still in 2019, and we'll see each other before that for our biannual meeting. But this is important to keep in mind because our next IUFRO World Congress is going to be in October 2019 in Curitiba, Brazil. This is going to be a huge conference, but it's extremely important. It's organized by the Brazilian Forest Service and the Brazilian Agricultural Research Corporation and BRAPA. But it's extremely important because it's an opportunity to promote IUFRO Latin America, where memberships are proportionally lower than in other regions of the world, except for Africa. So it's important, it will be as important as the initiative, much smaller, but that our colleagues from our working party are trying to crystallize in terms of having, in a couple of years' time, a conference in Chile for our working party for all the Latin Americans. So this is quite important. Okay, first at that, I'm going to invite, and we're going to see where is going to be our next biannual meeting. So I'm going to invite Pinar Pamukcu from Turkey, from Istanbul University, that is going to present us what's yours here? This way. Yeah. Okay, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sandra.
Hello, everybody.
First of all, I want to thank your organization team for this magnificent conference. And we would like to be host for the next meeting for IUFRO Landscape Ecology Working Unit Conference in Antalya, Turkey. And why Antalya or where is Antalya, I want to also explain you. Antalya is in Mediterranean region, just next to the Mediterranean Sea. And also the city is really a national and international conference city for us, for Turkish people. And also Antalya is the hub, touristic hub of Turkey, and the history of the city goes back to 200 before Christ. So several historical ruins together with sandy beaches and crystal clear Mediterranean waters attract around 15 million tourists all around the world. And also the climate of the city is typical Mediterranean. The average daily mean temperature in June and September is about 26 centigrade degree, so it will be really warm. And the possibility of rain is less than 10%. So, how can we reach Antalya? Antalya Airport is an international airport, so you can get easily flight tickets, direct flights or indirect, let's say, from Istanbul. I should also tell you, the airport is about 12 kilometers out of the city center, so it's quite close, let's say. And several airlines companies, including Turkish Airlines, Atlasjet, Sun Express, Pegasus, and operate many airlines operate direct international flights to Antalya. But if you have indirect flights from Istanbul, also it's nice city and you can stay just 2-3 days to visit, to stay there. It's good opportunity, I can tell you. And our proposed date 10 to 15 September, and of course, like here, it will be post-conference tour. Let's say between 15 to 17 September to Southern Aegean region. And our organization committee, of course, we will improve that, but I should also tell. And Yusuf Serengil, he's my professor, my supervisor, and me also. And we will be the key people for this conference. And also our colleagues and friends from Istanbul University and Forest Research Institute, also General Directorate of Forestry, and some local university people also will be involved for this conference. And somehow I was in Antalya just let's say 3 months ago, and I took all the photos what I put right now, and I will give some brief information about where we can go as a field trip. This is Aspendos Theater. It's spectacularly well-preserved theater, is one of the best examples of Roman theater construction in the world. And this one is Köprülü Canyon National Park, also is Turkey's most popular water sports area. And the national park is perfect for hiking and rafting, or to explore the ancient ruins, or just to enjoy the dramatic Mediterranean scenery. And Phasalis Antique City also was an ancient city, again on the coast of Lycia. It lies between the Bay Mountains and the forests of Olympos National Park. The town was set up by the Rhodians in 700 before Christ. So it's really ancient. And about Olympos Mountain, of course, we have one Olympos Mountain because I think more than 20 mountain which has already Olympos name, but it's also quite nice because it's above, let's say, around 3,000, more than 3,000 meters. And for daily trip, we can climb up. Maybe we can get the telepheric. And yeah, it's quite nice also. And about sunken city ruins of Simena, also specially protected area that I can't say. And it's also Lycian site. And yeah, you can see the port, ancient port, just under the sea. So we should take the boat to go there. Yeah, even the kingdom is just yeah, in the sea, on the sea. So also Güllük Mountain Termossus National Park is one opportunity to go field trip. And also ancient 40 feet city of Termossos, rising 1,050 meters above the sea level. So yeah, it was quite also interesting. It is quite interesting. And Cave National Park, Altınbeşik Cave National Park, also is a horizontal and partly active cave system. We can walk just 2-3 kilometers inside of it. And this region of the Taurus Mountain, we are talking about, by the way, Taurus Mountain, has a very complex geological and geomorphological structure that you yeah, see it. So, and this is Mira, Demre, also Lycian and Greek town, what we can go to for the field trip. I didn't put the relationships between field trips and also the main purpose, because we don't have exact key topic right now, conference topic. But of course, yeah, afterwards, when they decided about the topic, yeah, also we can say cave expedition or biochemistry tour or something like that. I mean, I just want to show you where we can go just for daily trip. About the post-conference tour, yeah, as I said before, we'll be in Southern Asian region, yeah, 2-3 days, let's say. And to Patara Beach, Saklıkent or Hidden City Gorge, Blue Lagoon, Butterfly Valley, and Sea Turtle Beach, and Dalyan. Also, Patara Beach is 18 kilometers long and the longest one in its region, I can say. And yeah, it's one of the places that sea turtle leave their eggs. And of course, it's forbidden after 7 hours, I think. Just for using the turtles. So Saklıkent Gorge is the second largest gorge in Europe. It's totally yeah, about 20 kilometers long. But yeah, we can walk also just 2 kilometers inside, yeah, into the gorge and then yeah, going out. And it's quite nice because water is like sometimes like here, very high, and sometimes you have to kneel and to pass under the stone. So yeah, could be interesting for the post-conference tour. And about the Blue Lagoon, I think I shouldn't say anything about Blue Lagoon because it's already really famous. But yeah, it's, yeah, as you think, it's lagoon, and we are calling Ölü Deniz in Turkish. That means Dead Sea. It's really quiet and flat, and yeah, just enjoy the lagoon. It's quite nice. And also, yeah, if you are interested, you can get the paragliding or tandem there if you want to see above. And about the Butterfly Valley, scientists recorded some 147 flora species belonging to 54 families and 105 butterfly species from 15 families native to the valley. So, yeah, if we decide to go there, we have to hike down and hike up, or yeah, either yeah, just take the boat to go there. And yeah, about İztuzu Sea Turtle Beach, it's again yeah, turtle protected area. So yeah, for example, you cannot lie on or put your umbrella just just this area, it's forbidden because already eggs are there. And about Dalyan, it's also ancient ruins, just in front of the mountains, I can say, and it's quite interesting. This is Antalya City Center. Okay, let's go to key topics. We have 4 alternatives. First one is that ecosystems, landscapes, and watersheds, the critical connection. The second one is that ecology and management of forest landscapes in urban to rural gradient, urban-rural transition. Or alternative 3 is that transitional landscapes, degraded landscapes, and changing landscapes. And the fourth one is mitigation, tools and solutions. It's just, they are just proposed topics. About the sponsors, I'm PhD student in Istanbul University, so Istanbul University and Antalya University is the local university, will work together, of course. And Scientific and Technical Research Council of Turkey will provide us for the students, scholars. And Ministry of Forests and Water, General Director of Forestry and Regional Forest Service of Antalya also will support all the transportation stuff, let's say, they will provide us. And also Antalya Metropolitan Municipality, if we need any place as a venue or, some places, some publications even they can provide. And also Turkish Airlines, I don't know the current number, I don't know which number we need to reach, but we have an agreement with them. For example, if we reach the number of participants that we have to do, we can get 20% discount for the flights. I mean, about you are the participants. So it's, I don't know right now, but 20% discount is quite good, I can say. And potential sponsors, Esri Turkey also, we are working together, but we didn't ask yet. That's why it's potential sponsor. And some also natural management or landscape architecture foundations will be involved. So, welcome to Antalya in 2017. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a very, very nice presentation. So, okay, just to finish, so we hope we are going to be able to go to that incredible place. We just need to arrange some details, and it's still going through details in terms of the scientific committee and so on. But I think it will be a nice location if we can make it in 2 years' time. So if it's in September 2017, will be perfect for the people that come from far away, because as I mentioned, is the week after will be this conference of the 150 years in Germany, in Freiburg. So for the people that want to attend that event, where we don't have the program yet, but I know it's going to be an impressive program in terms of keynote speaker from the forest, for our forest community. So they can go to the field trip and then fly to Germany. So this is perfect, especially for the ones coming from very far away. Okay, but now we are still in Estonia, we're still in Tartu, and we still have a party. So things didn't finish here. So again, a last applause for this fantastic organization, to all the team that worked so hard for the organization and to put together this scientific program. So, thank you. Okay, so now the floor is for Urmas in order to provide an end to this conference. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is true. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is true that you have felt and seen here in Tartu. Behind all this you have felt and seen in Tartu is the city of Tartu. I have the honor to forward the floor to the chairman of City Council, Mr. Vladimir Shokman.
Hello, everybody. I wanted to ask you, have you met in the last days one good toad at conference? Somebody has met a good toad? No. But outside, we call our city a city of good toads, because it's city of universities, city of higher education, and third part, at least, from our city are students or people who are working in the institutions or in and third part plus in the education, gymnasiums and schools. And we are proud about it, and we are working together very much with the administrations of Tartu University, Tartu Agriculture University, because we can not explain the other way to live together and work together in Tartu. You know, the first natural protected area in Russian Empire was established in Estonia 100 and more years ago, maybe 200 kilometers away from Tartu, maybe a little bit more on our islands. We are very proud about our university, which has made, I can say, our face in the last 400 years. But I can prove that Swedish king Gustavus Secundus Adolphus has decided to establish university in Torpat because Tartu was historically very important place for the handling for affairments. In the medieval, it was very important port, and the city which made together the Russian and European affairments, because river Emajogi, Embach in Deutsch, river mother or mother river, and in many hundred years. And this reason, maybe can say Tartu is historically always been very international city and situated with many different nations, peoples of different nations. And you have possibility to look a little bit deeper in our history, and you can see our ships. For example, this one, which is built in Tartu, and it's we mean very like to these ships which in history made trips between Russia, Novgorod, Pskov, Tartu, to Pärnu, and to Baltic Sea, Hanseatic cities. And I think you are a little bit tired. And it was difficult to you to remember how many good thoughts and good contacts, good new friends you have get in the last days. But now is the conference in the 5 minutes finished, and you have free time to be together, unofficial time, and thank you for the visit to our city. Have good last days in Estonia. I know you, almost of you have trips around Estonia, and nice days in Estonia. And welcome back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we read the protocol. The protocol reads, we have to deliver a take-home message. One take-home message is to our chair, to Sandra. It's for you. I am an actor, a first-class actor. Tia is an actress, a first-class actress. The screenplay is written by Dr. Ajit Pereira, who is behind the stage. Ajit, a take-home message is for you. As the chair of the city council, Mr. Vladimir Šokman said, we'll finish our conference after the closing of it on the river Emajõgi. We have two replicas of ancient ships, ancient boats. Somebody has told me that on this rowing Viking Age ship, the prime rower might be Louis Iverson. Somebody has told me there is some Viking blood in Louis Iverson. But nevertheless, I have the honor to give the floor to Louis Iverson to say some words about the outcome of the conference.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to take a couple minutes in letting you know, of course, we, as Jiquan said last night, this working party has always taken a great effort as to producing high-quality books and special issues, and this is no different. This time we're planning to have a book produced with the same title as the conference, Sustaining Ecosystems in Forest Landscapes, and it will be edited by our esteemed chair of the Science Committee, Ajit, and the, where'd you go, Irmas? There, and our esteemed chair of the organizing committee, plus Guillermo and myself. And the goal is to produce this book so that it's ready for our next meeting in Turkey in 2017. And so to do so, it's going to have some tight deadlines in the drafts of the chapters, which should be to the editors by next July or August. So we're going to make every effort we can to ensure that this book is has a long shelf life, and we want to insist that these chapters be broad and synthetic and tightly linked to the conference theme. So Ajit has already contacted the Springer Books folks and has given him an orange light, not a green light, but an orange light to go ahead with this project. We need to have a proposal approved, of course, that kind of thing. But we'll soon be sending invitations to the plenary speakers and the chairs of the symposia to try to organize, prepare chapters that will be following this conference theme in this synthetic way. And then we hope that the symposium organizers will be willing to prepare a chapter in conjunction with the people in their sessions so that you can have a synthetic chapter that basically presents a lot of the material that was presented this week. And so it's important for us to also note that this does not preclude any other special issue or something that a symposium organizer or others would like to prepare, but we want to just have this as kind of a review book that kind of sets the stage of the situation, as we are today, and it'll have a long shelf life kind of marking where we are at this time, the state of the art. And so anybody will be able to participate. We'll just want to kind of function through the symposium organizers and the editors and so forth to enable a nice piece that will come out of that. And again, we thank you so much for your participation and hope that this can work out for all of us. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is over now. Vivat Turkey!